Hello, everyone. The truth about late night riders. As you all know, I once did rideshare and I had many rides, and a lot of my rides were late night riders. My experience for late night riders was cool. They were really laid back. A lot of them were coming in from out of town from the airport, so they just needed to go to their hotel. Some were going to different conventions, which were at hotels. So they were usually, some of them were tired, like when they would get off the plane. However, some of them were full of energy. They always tipped well. The conversation was good. It's always interesting when a client would get in the back seat and they would tell me that they were coming from California, that they were in the DFW for the first time. And the main thing that they would talk about is the airport, how vast the airport is. And after that, they would talk about jet lag. And so they would always say, "Hey, don't mind me. I'm just relaxing." I always was one to ask, "Hey, what kind of music you want to listen to?" Um, Because it's all about making the client comfortable and happy. As far as just being open. And usually they said, "Hey, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to listen to." And so I never had any like crazy experiences with picking up anyone late. I remember picking up some clients and they were just going up the street. I picked up some that just wanted to go up the street to a cannabis spot and get an edible, and then we'll go right back home. I had trips where I would just take individuals up to the QT gas station, and they wanted to get some snacks, which I always thought that was funny because that just let me know that they could have snacks at the crib, but not the snacks they want, and most likely they could have just got done taking the edibles, smoking weed, or they could have just been a foodie person about to watch a movie. You never know. But those rides were some of the best rides. Though the pay was not always extremely high when it was that hour of the morning or the night, it paid it paid a good bit. And I was fortunate to get clients that always wanted to tip me. So the truth about late night riders, depending on where you at in the city, depending on the energy you give off, you're usually gonna get people that just are normal. They just normal and they just want to do their thing and get to where they need to be safely. And that was always my thing. I know some people and those that do ride share are thinking about getting into the ride share activity. There is some crazy people out there, and there are some people out there with mental illnesses. The perception is if you're picking someone up late at night, it's for some people that the people are no good and they just about shenanigans. And that's not true. That's not true. Because if these individuals had their own vehicle or wanted to drive, they would. So they really need to get to where they need to be. And before I got into doing rideshare, I was, if I'm being honest, kind of wary about picking up people at night. And I don't mean like 9 o'clock at night, because that's winning time and close to winding down time, depending on what day of the week it is. But I'm talking about between the hours of 12 and 3 in the morning. And I learned that they just have places they need to be. And they're not really trying to start anything crazy. They're not trying to be combative. I've never had that with me. Even the ones I would pick up in the wee hours of the morning, they were just trying to get to work or get to the airport. Now, I will say, I don't really have any truth about the late night riders that I get from the club because I only picked up one person from the club. And that one person that I picked up that one time in the city of Dallas, they almost threw up in my car. And they did not throw up. And I'm glad that she did not. But that did teach me that I will, in the future, not go to any clubs to pick up anyone. So that's the truth about late night riders. They led me to believing in just stay helping everyone else, but don't go to where the club scene is. Now, I had a homeboy that did the ride share stuff, and he told me he used to clean up, picking up people from the club. And, you know, he didn't have any shenanigans of people throwing up in his car, um, at least from what he shared with me. But it was possible. I just wanted to stay out of that realm because there ain't nothing worse than someone throwing up in your car and then you have to clean it out. You don't get extra money. They don't pay for it, and it's like, my vehicle is not an extension of a toilet. Like no, like know how to handle your liquor. You know, you just gotta know. Or and listen, I my thing was it would be cool if someone got in my car and they would let me know in advance that hey, I gotta throw up. That way I could pull over and open the door and they can just throw up. Because depending on where I'm driving and at the speed I'm driving to, and me not knowing the intoxication level, because some people have their seatbelt on, some people don't put their seatbelt on. But even though I always told, made sure people had their seatbelt on, because in my car, if you ain't have your seatbelt on, it keeps making an annoying sound. So for that sound not to be made, one would have to put their seatbelt on. Thus, technically, they could open up the door and throw up, but it happens all quick, and sometimes you don't know. So I get it. So I just avoided that. So anyone that's thinking about getting in the ride share, and even those that have been in ride share, currently doing it, you all let me know in the comments. Have you ever taken a ride share and you're a customer in the back seat and you thought about throwing up in someone's car, or you threw up in someone's car coming from the club? And any drivers out there, any men and women out there that currently do ride share, if you all ever do the late night hours, early mornings on the weekends, have y'all had any one throw up in your car? And were there any truths that you learned about late night riders? Just let me know. Cause even though I did an abundance of rides, I haven't done every ride. I haven't done every single person. So I just read and heard many crazy stories about it, and I just wanted to avoid it. But the truth about late night riders is they just regular people that's out late night, you know, just trying to be constructive or trying to get into some shenanigans. They just living their life. Only thing that's different about them is the hour of the day that they're being picked up, or the evening that they're being picked up. Though the perception can definitely be different. They say the freaks come out at night, which is true, but so do the police officers, so does the ambulance, so does the construction workers, so does the people that do the ride shares, as well as the individuals traveling on the road, truckers, people that have to go to the airport. So that debunks all those preconceived notions. And I think the thing is, since certain negative things occur at any time, but a lot of times at the late night hour, and that's all that gets pushed in the news and social media, it kind of creates that realistic, but not all the time thought. It happens sometimes, but not all the time. So in most instances, it's the luck of the draw, because as a rideshare driver, I never knew who was getting in my back seat. I just know my personality. and the energy I give off. And I'm just trying to help people at the time. I was just trying to be a service to people. But yes, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a family member, hell, even tell an enemy. Because if you tell an enemy, it's most likely you all can become associates, friends, and it'll be a wonderful thing. I just wanted to bring you all this. You all continue to have a good day and talk to you all later. Peace.